No one is going to hand you your dream. It's never going to be handed to you. It's not supposed to be easy. You're supposed to struggle. You're supposed to persevere. If you want to pursue your creativity outside your day job, it comes down to taking action and getting started. What's going on? You're listening to episode 13 of the Perspective Podcast, and I'm your host, Scotty.D.Russell of Perspective Collective. This show is about developing your mind, building a brand, and growing an audience. And my main goal is to help you unleash your creativity so you can hopefully become a valuable asset to the creative community. I love this stuff. This is my passion. And with each episode, I'm digging a little bit deeper of my why. What are my true intentions and what do I truly want out of this? And what do I want to help other people get out of this as well? And I think at the moment, that's my mission. I want to help you gain confidence in your creativity. I want to help you pursue the things that you want to do that you didn't think you could, that was possible, okay? We grow up believing that you have to work this 9-to-5 job your whole life, and, life begins when you're 60 to 65 because that's when retirement is. Well, this episode is about finding the time and the motivation outside your day job to pursue your creative passion projects. And in my newsletter, when you sign up, the first onboarding email you're going to get, I want to know the best way I can serve you. So I ask you, what is your biggest struggle when it comes to pursuing your creativity? And hands down, this is probably the biggest one I get time and time again is, I work a full-time job. I don't have the time to pursue the creativity outside of work, or man, I'm just so tired and worn out by the time I get home. I just have no motivation to pursue this stuff. And what better way to talk about it than to make a podcast episode? So maybe you're thinking, wouldn't it be great if you had the extra time and motivation to pursue your creativity outside your day job? Now, I get it. You work hard, and when you punch out, the last thing you want to do is work more. Instead, you seek out some comfort in Netflix or video games while putting the passion project on hold for just another day. Maybe you'll have some more motivation and time tomorrow. Who knows? I want you to know I've been in your shoes, so I might get a little bit harsh in this episode. I'm just going to I'm keeping it real. But just so you know, I've been in your shoes. I'm speaking to the old me. I'm not trying to go on the attack on you, but I'm trying to light a fire under your ass to let you know that this is just all excuses, okay? And the excuses need to stop if you're really taking yourself seriously. As we all know, excuses will always be available. It's easier to hit the snooze button on your creative goals and dreams than it is to actually get up and grind for something you truly want. Living in an excuse-driven world will rob you of catching a glimpse of your creative potential. And you don't want to go to the grave knowing you never took a shot at trying. So that's why I'm going to give you 4 ways to find the motivation and time necessary to pursue your creativity outside your day job. Starting off with number 1. Stop talking and start acting. You and I both know getting started is easily the hardest part of doing anything. It took me months to start blogging. It took me months to even start podcasting, okay? These were things I realized I needed to do for my personal creative goals, in order to get to where I wanted to be. These were probably things that I needed to do in order to gain clarity and build influence, gain authority in order to, get to that end goal. But I had no motivation to start them. And there was a little bit of fear mixed in with that too. And that's the thing that most people don't realize is motivation is not a source of energy. Okay, if you're looking for motivation, you're not going to find it. Motivation comes from the act of doing. It comes from taking action. As I just mentioned, motivation will find you when you commit and begin your work. It steadily flows when the rubber meets the road. The more progress you make, the more present motivation becomes. And it's up to you to take the first step and just act. So stop talking and take some action. Now, a little tip that this is what helps me take action And what I do and what got me over the hurdle of delaying on a blog and a podcast is I had to set a deadline of when I needed these things started, when I needed to hit publish and share it with the world, regardless if it was good enough. I just needed to set a deadline. And the reason I set a deadline is because for me, it created this sense of urgency. If you don't have urgency, you're just going to wing it and things are never going to get done. That to-do list is just going to grow to a never done list. And having this sense of urgency also creates this accountability. And sure enough, I got my shit together and hit publish that day. So it was August 19th. I set the date for August 19th to be my podcast day when it needed to launch. And I was talking about launching a podcast all the way back in May. Okay, so I just kept delaying, kept putting it off. I didn't have a set date I was working towards. And sure enough, I just kept putting it off. There was no motivation. But moving forward to where I'm in right now, recording, doing a podcast is just a normal thing in my routine. And I'm going to talk about routines in a little bit. But starting off, you need to stop talking and you need to take action. All right, number 2, you gotta trim the fat. Now, this has nothing to do with weight, so I'm not taking a stab at anybody for their physical appearance. This has nothing to do with that. But let's be real for a second. You and I, we both have the same 24 hours in a day. And the reasons why other creatives are getting so much more done than you is because they trim the fat. You'll never find more time, but you can make more time by saying no and killing your time wasters. And to me, this is what trimming the fat is. Take a moment and ask yourself, what are some things that you're consuming right now that are taking up your precious bandwidth? Are you watching hours of Netflix each night? Are you playing endless rounds of video games? Are you scavenging YouTube for the best cat videos? Do you socialize with friends each night? Are you the person that needs to find something to do each night and see where all your homies and friends are? Because that used to be me. Or are you even hanging with unmotivated influences? Straight up, you have to trim the fat. You have to get rid of the unnecessary garbage in your life that's taking up your time and holding you back. Please understand that all that entertainment that you consume through your devices, it only exists to grab your attention for as long as possible with the end goal of monetizing your attention. By assuming the role of being a consumer whenever you get the free minute after you clock out of work, you are giving up on your ability to produce your creative dream, and you're feeding right into the hands of what they want you to do. Also, by seeking out a thrill each night, okay, you need something to do each night, you need to socialize, you need to go get drinks or hanging out with the wrong crowd of people. You're draining your energy, your attention, and you're taking steps back instead of taking steps forward of acting on your goals. Other than hanging out with the wrong crowd, I'm not saying all of these things are bad. I watch Netflix. I'm all about Breaking Bad. I recently watched Stranger Things. I'm all about Shameless. I like watching episodes of things. I don't have cable. I don't have TV, which used to suck, but now it's really a blessing in disguise. But I watch Netflix. I love cat videos. Like, who doesn't like cat videos? I've given up video games. I love to socialize with my friends. I'm a huge extrovert. I like to be out. I'm energized by other people. But I realize in order to get to where I want to be in life, you have to sacrifice. You have to cut back on things. If I'm doing something in excess, I need to trim the fat. I need to get focused. I need to get disciplined. And damn sure, I had to cut all the bad influences in my life, people that were bringing me down, people that were negative, people that didn't have goals, people that were just settling for where they are in life. They had nothing they were working towards, getting lost in drugs and alcohol. Like, I've been in the party scene, but I can't be around these people anymore. So these are things you need to start looking out for when you need to start trimming the fat. So please save us the excuse of when you say you don't have enough time. If you're participating in endless hours of all the things I mentioned earlier of consumption and going out all the time, and you were complaining you don't have enough time to pursue your creativity, I'm sorry, I don't want to hear it, okay? Moving on into the third way to develop routines and rituals. Routines and rituals allow you to mindlessly act on your creative goals. I'm a normal human, just like you. Yet in a week, I work a 40-hour day job. Okay, I still make time to hit the gym a minimum of 4 to 5 days per week because I'm trying to get my body right, and I'm trying to feel good about myself. When I feel good about myself, I'm more creative, I get more done, I'm more productive, and I reach my goals quicker. In a week, I still produce a weekly blog. I produce a weekly podcast. I produce a weekly drawing to go as a featured image for both the blog and the podcast. And in October right now, I've taken on the challenge of doing Inktober and doing a daily drawing. Each week, I manage to promote all my content through social media and repurpose it all. I manage to respond to every message and every email possible that someone sends me. I listen to podcasts, audiobooks to continue to develop my mind as well as my business savvy. And then I also make time to spend with my cats and my beautiful wife, Emily. I probably don't balance the work-life stuff as much as I should, and this totally isn't me bragging, but I want to show you I used to be the person who made up the excuses. I was the person who said I never had time. I didn't have the motivation. But if things can change for me, if I can change, you can change, okay? It is possible for you, but it doesn't come easy. No one's going to hand you your dream and be like, here you go. Here's everything you wanted. You didn't have to put any time in. You didn't have to put in any work, okay? So stop using excuses as a crutch and take action through a routine. And all of this stuff is possible for me because I have this routine. I have morning rituals. I have lunchtime rituals. I have rituals when I get off work. I have rituals before I go to bed. And these rituals have trained me to get in the zone and ditch the thinking. All I have to do is just react. And each action becomes second nature, okay? Everything I stated up above is just another thing that I do. And the more things you include in your routine and you master them and, they become second nature, you can slowly continue to add more and pump out more content and get closer to your goals faster. So develop a routine and start developing your own creative rituals. All right, the fourth reason to find more motivation and energy to create outside of your day job is you need to do a gut check to yourself. It really boils down to how badly do you want it? For real, how badly do you want it? If you can look yourself in the mirror right now and say you want it badly, then your actions need to speak louder than your words. So the next objection I'm sure you're probably saying is, but Scotty, what if I have kids? How the hell am I supposed to have time or find the motivation to create? Well, you got me there. I can't relate. I don't have kids. I have 2 cats that I treat as kids, but to me, it's still not an excuse. And this is why. I know plenty of creatives who have kids, yet they are still making their dreams come true. For example, in my accountability group, my good friends Bob Ewing, Terrence Tang of Tinlund Studio, and Daniel Palacios of High Pulp Studio, and even Colin Tierney of Tierney Studio. Lots of studios. But all 4 of these guys have kids. Some of them have multiple kids, yet they manage to grind on the daily and make time for their family still. Like, those guys are the real heroes. Those are the guys I look up to. So when I have a kid and I start making up these excuses like I used to in the past of not having time, not having motivation, I have people I can lean back on and learn the secrets, learn the inside out of how to balance all this stuff and still be creative. So like I said, there are no excuses. Either you want it or you don't. Which is it? Saying you don't have time needs to stop. If you're sitting on the couch each night glued to a TV or you're out socializing, you have no room to complain. And like I said earlier, I don't want to hear it and nobody else does either. I promise you, nobody wants to hear it. Let me challenge you now. So what's your next move? For me, I relentlessly pursue Perspective Collective because to me, this isn't even work outside of my day job. Yeah, I work a ton outside of my day job, but pursuing this side business and passion project, this isn't even work to me. I found something I love to do, and it's within my sweet spot. As I mentioned, I believe it was episode 11, finding your sweet spot. It's when you're operating in the space where you're equally good at and what you love to do. And in that episode 11, I talk about this. You can find this at perspective-collective.com/11, and you get the show notes there as well to get all the action steps. But you got to find your sweet spot. Okay, when you find your sweet spot and you start working in it each day, that's where the motivation is going to come from. And the ambition and the measurable progress, that you'll get by operating within your sweet spot, it's going to make it easy to create more time in your already hectic schedule that you say you have. Understand, the more time you make for your dream, the closer your dream becomes a reality. You got to make time for yourself. You got to invest in yourself. You got to trim the fat. You got to get rid of the time wasters and invest in the time servers. So with pursuing Perspective Collective, I'm getting more clarity and insight. And my overall goal is to help people like you discover just that one thing you love to do that you're also good at. And I want to show you it's possible to pursue it. Okay, it's possible to not find the time. You can make time. You can't find time, but it's possible to make time, and it's possible to find the motivation once you start taking action. So what's your next move? Are you tired of making the excuses? No one is going to hand you your dream. It's never going to be handed to you. It's not supposed to be easy. You're supposed to struggle. You're supposed to persevere. If you want to pursue your creativity outside your day job, it comes down to taking action and getting started. So figure out the first step now and stop putting it off until tomorrow, okay? Stop falling for the trap of tomorrow. We all know how that works. You are capable. I believe in you. If someone like me can, snap out of it and change, things change when you change, okay? Life will only change when you start to change. And you have this ability within you to make these things happen, okay? Stop letting life happen to you and go out and make it happen yourself. Whew. Wow, I had a lot of energy in this episode. I got done with the gym. I came home just fired up, ready to tear into this one. I want to be positive. I want to be upbeat. I want to try and help motivate, inspire you. I'm not a motivational speaker, but damn it, I love creativity and I love to help other people figure out that it is possible to pursue this stuff. And I'm sorry for swearing. I've been so curated and so not myself over the past 2 years of pursuing this because I was scared I was going to turn people off. But as I always preach, you can't please everyone. And honestly, I'm probably going to let a swear word slip sometimes. It's just part of who I am. I have a big football background, coaching. I hang out with friends who swear. Like, I am no polished, perfect person. And I'm no people pleaser. And I like alliterations, but so if it offends you, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. It's just me being me, and I'm going to be more of me as I continue to go on. If you're finding any value in these episodes, I would just sincerely appreciate a positive review. Another way to help support this show is by just sharing it with someone who maybe needs a little kick in the butt of some positive encouragement. Share this with someone who may need it. And if you have feedback, you have some things I can work on, you have suggestions, shoot me an email at scotty@perspective-collective.com. Okay, I'm always open to get better. I'm always open to feedback. I'm not perfect. I never will be, but I'm hungry to improve. I want to be a great podcaster, and I know that's going to take time, but I'm always open to suggestions. What else? Okay, if you want to find me online, I live at perspective-collective.com. You can find my blog there. You can sign up for the newsletter. If you have a great idea for a show, if this is something that you've been struggling with and you want some content, the best way to access me is through my website or by joining my team at perspective-collective-team.com. By joining my team, you get full-on access to me. You get to source your biggest struggle. You get to work with me one-on-one. You get first dibs on any kind of products, any kind of hookups, any kind of freebies I put out to help you build your brand and grow an audience. All this stuff you get for free from me. And finally, I need to give a big shout out to Nick Jenkins of Blookah. Big thanks to him for all the theme music he provides. You can find him at SoundCloud at BLOOKAH. That's Blookah. And as always, thank you so much for lending me your ears. I appreciate it more than you could ever know. Keep showing up, keep putting in the work, and keep creating. You've got this.